Hi, welcome to my channel Jananetha Adda. So today we are going to discuss about operational amplifiers. In the last two videos we discussed about the amplifier design and amplifier properties. So what are the ideal properties required to act as an amplifier? So today we will be going to discuss about operational amplifier. Having discussed about the amplifier, so we will going to discuss today what are the properties of operational. So what is the importance of an operational amplifier? So operational amplifier is an analog device having three terminals. So our first device in analog world is analog computer. The heart of the analog computer is operational amplifier, because the job of the computer is to solve numerical problems and equations. So this operational amplifier is able to do additions. It is used to do addition, subtraction, multiplications, integration, division and differentiation. So this operational amplifier is used to add. It acts as an adder, subtraction, multiplier, integrator and differentiator also. So operational amplifier is available in a integrated circuit, which is called as a IC. So which is available in a integrated circuit. Nowadays it is available in a integrated circuit. In olden days it is available in a discrete components, which usually occupies very large area, but nowadays operational amplifiers requires a less area and they are rugged. So they perform in all the conditions. It is also inexpensive device. It is very inexpensive device. In the further also we will discuss about its performance. It is also called as a versatile device. Versatile device. This operational amplifier is also called as a versatile device. A device is said to be a versatile device if and only if which is able to amplify all frequencies. So which accepts the infinite frequencies device, we call it as a versatile device. So this is a small introduction about the importance of an amplifier, operational amplifier. We will go through a definition of operational amplifier. The definition, if I say the definition of operational amplifier, it is a directly coupled. So we will discuss each point in the directly coupled high gain differential amplifier. Till now we are familiar with amplifier, so we are not familiar with the differential amplifier. So in the next video we will discuss about the importance of a differential amplifier over an amplifier. So also it having high gain and it is directly coupled. So what are the coupling methods we are available in an electronic circuit, we also discuss in the next videos. So it is a directly coupled high gain differential amplifier. So which is having, we don't know till now we have not discussed about the transistors and diodes. So we will represent our operational amplifier as a block box, so that we can analyze. As lectures goes on, we will discuss each and every element, internal circuit elements of the block box also. So till now this operational amplifier is a internally having a 4 stages. So we will represent each stage and we will discuss the importance of each stage also. So it is a 4-stage device. So it has first stage. It is also operational amplifier is also a 3-terminal device, which is one of the property for an amplifier. So it is suitable for an amplifier. It also having internally a dependent sources, so it can also used as an amplifier. So our conditions are satisfied to become an amplifier. So we having a 2 input terminal for an amplifier. It is having it is the first stage of block diagram. It is an intermediate stage. It is a third stage and it is a fourth stage if it is a output. So this first stage, it is called as an intermediate stage. Intermediate stage. This stage is called as a level shifter. It's called power amplifiers. Power amplifier section. This section, the first section is called as a differential amplifier. Differential amplifier with double balanced output. So it is a differential amplifier which takes the two inputs and process the difference between the two signals and produces a balanced output. So we will discuss about the differential amplifier in the next video. It provides a balanced output. The importance of this stage is that it provides high gain, to get high gain and high input impedance. High input impedance. So which is a property for a amplifier. So this second stage also the same thing. This intermediate stage is also called as a I am representing this differential amplifier as a D dot A. So differential amplifier with unbalanced output, because we are taking only a single output of the second intermediate stage and forwarding to a level shifter, because this also provides high gain, high input impedance. So this, because of having a single input, so it provides some the DC offset to the next stage. So because to compensate the to block the DC, I am using the level shifter. The level shifter has having high input, impedance. So which avoids loading effect. So all these terms will be new for you. So we will discuss in the next video all the information. It avoids the loading effect. So the level shifter is nothing but it is a replacement for a capacitor. So we usually use a capacitor to block the DC. So in our circuit design, we will use the capacitor to block the DC, because we assume that reactance of the capacitor as Xc equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc. For a DC, we know that frequency is equal to 0. If the frequency is equal to 0, the reactance is infinity. So the capacitor will open circuited for the DC voltage. So because of that, to block the DC voltage, we are using a level shifter. But why we are using level shifter means because we cannot place a capacitor in an integrated circuit, because it requires a large area. So to avoid to make our integrated circuit having a very less area, we are going for a level shifter which is designed using the transistor. We will also design a level shifter by using a transistor in the next lessons. So this is the importance of a level shifter. Also, if I discuss about the power amplifier is used to provide the maximum gain. So which is used to match the very low impedance devices like speaker. Mostly the speakers will possess the 5 ohms to 10 ohm impedance. So this power amplifier is used to transfer the maximum information to the load. So because the functionality it provides to provide the maximum gain. So this power amplifier is used to provide the maximum gain. So if we discuss in detail, if we go for the schematic representation of operational amplifier, so it is having a two terminals and one output terminal, so that it satisfies our concept of a 3-terminal device. So we will discuss a small concept here. We will represent in a block diagram. It is a positive, negative. I am representing this a differential amplifier with balanced output having V1 and V2. If I represent the circuit the same V1 and V2 with one output, it is a differential amplifier with unbalanced output. So if I represent same, it is also an amplifier having a single input or single output. It is an amplifier. So this is a representation of our elements, circuit elements. So our next concept is to discuss a schematic representation of. We are going to discuss about how do we represent the operational amplifier, schematic representation. How do we represent the operational amplifier on paper? So to analyze any electronic circuit, it could be a digital element or it could be analog element. We have to represent it in a symbol so that we can analyze easily. So it is a two terminal having two inputs and two single outputs. So it having positive and the negative. It is term V1. It is, I am assuming it is a V2. So I am assuming it is a positive and it is negative V1 and V2. And having a two power supplies. It takes a two power supplies having a positive supply and the negative supply and the V output. If I name the element, if I name the terminals, it is V1 here is that non-inverting terminal. It is termed as non-inverting terminal. And here V2 is inverting terminal because it provides, when I compare the input and output, it will provide a phase shift of 180 degrees, inverting terminal. So this is positive power supply, and it is negative power supply, and it is output section. So these are the terminals. When I say that the V1, this voltage is respect to ground, I am representing it is a ground. When I say that the V1 will be with respect to ground. So which is not, the V1 will not be with respect to the terminals, and it will having a input resistance V input as a V in. So it accepts the input V in only. So we will discuss the importance of V in the next. If I represent this same circuit with a single supply, with a single ground, because we are using two grounds. If I represent the same circuit with a common ground, I am having a positive and also having a negative. So we can have a positive ground. So we can represent our operational amplifier with a single supply. So this operational amplifier having a gain of A, where A is called as open loop gain or a differential gain or a DC. It is also called as a DC gain. For an ideal operational amplifier, the open loop gain in terms of 10 to the power of 6 for mu A 741 IC. So the gain for an operational amplifier is very high. For an open loop, the gain should be infinity. We will discuss each and every property of an amplifier, what is the working of an operational amplifier next. So if I represent this same amplifier in a block level, I can represent that. So assuming that V1 and V2 having negative, so having a gain of A and V output. So V output is nothing but A times of V1 minus V2. So from this block diagram, we can analyze the functionality of an operational amplifier easily, because this operational amplifier only accepts the difference between the two inputs, which means it accepts only the differential input signal, and it multiplies with the open loop gain, which is ideally infinite and but practically 10 to the power of 6 for mu A741 IC, which will produce a multiple of this differential input and open loop gain. So this is the representation of our amplifier, operational amplifier gain. V output equal to A times of V1 minus V2, where V1 will be measured with respect to ground, and V2 is measured with respect to ground only, where A is open loop gain, differential gain or DC gain. So if I represent the same operational amplifier in an electrical circuit, because in a previous video we have discussed about ideal properties of amplifier are having, we have discussed the ideal properties of an amplifier, that is Rin equal to infinity and Rout equal to 0. These two main points are very important. If you are not confident about these values, please check my video which is provided in I link above the. So if I represent the circuit model of this operational amplifier, I am drawing it in a big way. So it is a negative terminal and a positive terminal. So having a input resistance of Rin, and it should possess a dependent voltage source or dependent current source, and should have some Rout resistance. So this is the circuit representation of our amplifier. It is called as a V. I am representing it is as a Vn, and it is Vp, and which takes the differential input Vin and amplifies this with differential input and produces our output. This is our electrical representation of our operational amplifier. So this is practical op amp. If I go for an ideal representation of an amplifier, so we will see like this. So for an ideal op amp, the input impedance, that is R input should be equal to 0, and our Vin will get Vin, and it is Vn, and it is Vp. So it have a dependent source, and our R output resistance should be equal to 0. So it will provide our V output. So in both cases we have to assume that there is a power supplies, positive, negative power supplies. The positive supply and the negative supply. These supplies, why we require two power supplies, mean to act as an operational to act as an amplifier. So it has to provide, if I provide a 1 millivolt input signal, it has to provide 1 volt. So it is not a generator to generate the power. So because our according to the power conservation theorem or energy conservation theorem, the energy cannot be cannot be destroyed, because to amplify the signal we need extra power. That power can be supplied from these two power supplies, so that we get a better performance signal which is in the AC form. So we will get, it is an ideal representation of ideal op amp. If I take one example, from that example we will conclude the properties of an operational amplifier. So in the next we will discuss properties of amplifier. So please note down this important, all these are the important properties which are very useful to solve our numericals. We will take the heading today, that is properties of ideal op amp. So we will discuss the properties of a amplifier. The first property is it has infinite open loop gain. This operational amplifier have infinite input gain, that is A is equals to infinity. And what are the effects on a operational amplifier we will discuss, and also having a high input impedance. It having high input impedance, that is R input is equals to infinity. And also we have low output impedance, which is practically 0. Ideally it is 0. All these properties we have discussed in the last session. So the next property I said in the introduction, within the introduction, it is operational amplifier is a versatile device which is able to amplify all frequency signal. So it has having a bandwidth of infinity. So we also have a zero offset. It having a zero offset. So this can be explained by grounding the both terminals, that V1 equal to, when V1 equal to V2 equal to 0, it should provide a V output should be equal to 0 ideally. And also it has a high common mode rejection ratio, high CMMR. Which is able to reject the common mode signal, which is able to reject the common mode inputs. And also, so these are the properties we are expected from an operational amplifier, so that we will discuss the each and every property by using one example, by taking one example. So the operational amplifier can work in three types of feedback system. It can be acts as a positive feedback, it can be configured in a negative feedback, and also it can be work in a open loop. So I am taking one example. So I am considering one circuit. I am grounding this terminal. So this is RF. So this is R1. This is RF. I am giving a input signal V1 and it is V output. I am assuming that it having a positive supply and it is having also a negative supply. So I am assuming that it has a positive supply and the negative supply. The goal of this video is that it is V input. I have to find closed loop gain. I have to find closed loop gain. I can represent as AS, that is V output by Vs. I am assuming this as a Vs signal. So I have to find the V out. So here it having some feedback system. This circuit has some feedback system. How can we say that whether it is a positive feedback and the negative feedback? So this is a feedback element here. This are output section, some part of output which is feeding to the negative terminal of operational amplifier, because that it is called as negative feedback amplifier. It is a negative feedback amplifier. It can be considered as taking as a negative feedback amplifier, which is also called as here the positive terminal is grounded, but the input source, the source signal is given to a negative terminal. Because of that, it's called as inverting amplifier. So here we have got the 2 points, because some part of output has fed to the input section through to a negative terminal. Because of that, it is called as a negative feedback amplifier. If the some part of an output is fed back to the positive terminal, then it is called as a positive feedback amplifier. And because of giving the input signal to a negative terminal, it called as an inverting amplifier. So we will prove this inverting configuration, and also we will prove all the properties of a ideal operational amplifier. So for that I want to represent this practical operational amplifier in an ideal operational amplifier diagram. So if I assume, so here I am having a resistance of R1, so this is R1, and also which is given to a feedback system of RF. I know that this operational amplifier having a input resistance of infinity, and which is grounded here, and it is having a source signal of Vs here, and also it having a some dependent source inside of it, having an open loop gain of A, and also which amplifies the difference of signal. So here I am having, it is a Vn, I am representing this as a Vp. Okay, so and will have a zero output, which having a zero output resistance. So this is where we will get output. So this we assume that it having a two power supplies also. So this is well grounded. So it is overall grounded signal. So if I solve this signal, so it because of having a high input impedance, the current flowing through the operational amplifier, that is IP is equal to 0. The current flowing through the operational amplifier is equal to 0. So IP and IN equal to 0. The same current will flow through R1 and RF. And because of here there is no output resistance, we having at output section we will having a zero resistance. If I assume this node as a node 1, and if I apply KCL, at node 1, if I want to apply the KCL at node 1, we will get that Vs minus Vn by Rs, V out Rs are nothing but Rn, R1, and Vn minus V output equals to V output by Rf, because I1 is equals to I2. If I assume that here I1 flowing, there is I2. Because of I1 is equal to I2, so we will get the equation. If I cross multiply this both term, Vs into Rf minus Vn into Rf, and if I cross Vn into R1, V out into R1. If I solve this equation, Vs into Rf equals to Vn into Rf plus R1 minus V output into R1. If I assume this is a equation 1. So there is no provision, we cannot apply here KCL because of there is no resistance at the output section. So I will apply in this section as a KVL. If I assume in the loop, if I apply KVL at loop 2, so we will get V output is equals to A times of V in. I get A times of V in. We know that, we assumed that for an ideal operational amplifier, the open loop gain should be infinite. To get an infinite open loop gain, what the impact on this circuit we will observe now. So we know that, I assume that A equals to V output by V input, which can be represented as V input equals to V output by A, where if A is infinite, then I get that V input equal to 0. So the thing which I got here is that V input is equal to 0. So if V input is equal to 0, then the differential input, so I given the definition, second definition of operational amplifier is that the operational amplifier is a device which is senses the difference between the two signal and amplifies and multiplies with the open loop. It multiplies the open loop gain of operational amplifier and produce the V output is equal to A times of V1 minus V2, which is nothing but V input. So I can represent V input is equals to V1 minus V2. In this case, I assume that V1 is equal to Vp and V2 is equal to Vn. So I can represent this Vp minus Vn, which is equal to 0. Then only possible when Vp equal to 0 and Vn equal to 0. So whatever the voltage present at the terminal of Vp will be reflected the voltage at the Vn, which means that because here in this case the Vp is equal to 0, so which also makes the Vn equal to 0, which means that these both terminals Vn and Vp are short, which is not a practical short, which is only a virtual short. So this because of having open loop gain is infinite, because of having infinite open loop gain, we are getting Vp equal to 0 and Vn equal to 0, which is called technically as a virtual short circuit, which is not equal to the practical short circuit where the resistance is equal to 0. It is a virtual short circuit. So whatever the voltage present at the positive terminal will be reflected to the negative terminal. This is called a virtual circuit concept, which is important, very important for solving operational amplifier circuits, provided the circuit is connected in a negative feedback system. So provided the circuit is connected in a negative feedback system. How do we find the negative feedback of a system? Is that we have to consider the output section. Some part of the output is feeded using the RF resistor and given as an input to the negative terminal. Because of this output is feeded to the negative terminal, so this is called as a negative feedback amplifier. If the some part of the output I am representing is the red color, so if some part of output, assume this RF is not provided here, if some part of output, let's say RF, and it's having some input, if some part of output is fed to the input positive terminal, then it is called as a positive feedback amplifier, which is not a stable amplifier. So positive feedback amplifiers are not a stable amplifier. These positive feedback amplifiers have an application of oscillators, which will be discussed in the next sessions. So because of having this high input impedance, we are getting a virtual short circuit concept. We will solve the numericals in the next videos so that we can clarify what are the conditions. We assume one condition, we have assumed that the circuit should possess a infinite gain, and also the circuit should have a negative feedback amplifier. Only if and only if these two properties satisfied, then we can apply a virtual short circuit concept, which provides the whatever the voltage present in the positive terminal will be reflected to the negative terminal. So we also discuss about other properties having high input impedance. Also we will discuss. So the goal of this circuit system is that we have to provide V out. So for V output by Vs here is equal to minus Rf by R1. So this is our final output of So because it is called as an inverting amplifier because it is having a negative sign which provides 180 degree phase shift to the output. If I provide an input signal having this positive amplitude, the output will be 180 degree phase shifted signal. We will get 180 degree phase shift. So this is one of the properties. If I also provided here the virtual short circuit which is equal to a practical short. So this is Vn. If I want to find the input resistance of an amplifier, I have to consider this V input by I input. So to find the I input, I have to consider Vs, the input signal by the input current. So if I want to consider the Vs equals to, so input current can be written by using the KCL, then Vs minus V0 Vp, here Vs minus Vn by, we can represent as a R1 here. So where the input resistance will be very high, so this can be equal to 0, and where this Vs get cancel, and but Rn1 equal to infinity. So I will get a infinite current here. The current will be 0. The current flowing into the operational amplifier is 0. So we will get a infinite input impedance. Because of having infinite input impedance, the current flowing through the positive terminal into the operational amplifier is equal to 0, and also the current flowing through the negative terminal of the operational amplifier equal to be 0, then Ip equal to 0. So the current flowing into the operational amplifier also 0. The operational amplifier takes the 0 input resistance because having high input resistance. And also all operational amplifier also have the 0 output resistance because to act as a ideal voltage source. And also the operational amplifier also having high bandwidth because it has compensated with external capacitor. So we will discuss the frequency compensation of operational amplifier in the next video. Because of that, it is able to provide a high bandwidth signal which is able to amplify high bandwidth signal without any compromise. So we will also discuss about the few things, that is offset voltage. We will also discuss about the offset voltage concept and also the common mode rejection ratio. I hope you are clear till now. So if I have any doubt, please mention in the comment box so that I can reply you as much as possible. I also said that the operational amplifier having a 0 offset. So 0 offset condition can be explained in the by using one small example, because we can understand the concept easily through the examples. So I am assuming that it is a V2 and a V1 and V output. You have to assume that it have a positive supply and the negative supply, and also we have represented that operational amplifier produce a V output, that is A times of V1 minus V2. So operational amplifier is a device which senses the differential input, so having a V input. So if I ground both input terminals, if I make V1 equal to 0 with respect to ground and the V2 equal to 0 with respect to ground, then the V output should be equal to 0 irrespective of the gain of a operational amplifier. For an ideal operational amplifier, it should provide a 0 when the both terminals are shorted to a ground. When I shorted the both terminals to a ground, if I given V1 equal to V2 equal to 1 volt, then also it should provide a 0 output, which is called as a 0 offset of an operational amplifier. But practically the operational amplifier will not provide a 0 offset voltage, rather it will provide when when V1 equal to 0, the V2 equal to 0, it will provide the VO output equal to 5 millivolts to 20 millivolts because of having a level shifter, in the stage, because we have also discussed in the in the starting of the video, we have represented operational amplifier with the 4 blocks. So in the third stage we have used level shifter in replace of the capacitor. Because of having some capacitor, the voltage drop of unbalanced differential amplifier and intermediate stage, and that in level shifter we will get offset voltages. This because of that practical incapability we are getting this output voltage. And also this operational amplifier is having common mode rejection ratio. We will also discuss about the common mode rejection ratio in detail. So because of the ability of a differential sensing of operational amplifier, even if I give an input to the signal, if I give any input to the signal, let's take, if I give a sinusoidal signal, if I given a sinusoidal signal to the both terminals, but this device, any device will not, this not device, any device will not accept only the signal. It was by default it will take some noise, but here I am giving a signal plus noise and also a signal plus noise. So if I want to make comfortable, if I want to give this signal, if I grounded this signal, I have provided only at the negative terminal, because we have only discussed up till now, we have discussed only the inverting configuration of operational amplifier. So also if I given, I also represent this in a negative inverting mode V2. So if I given the input to this section having RS resistance, so but it will not take only 0, it will take as some noise. So because of having V output is equal to A1 times of V1 minus V2, so it will get a signal, it will take signal plus noise, then V2 will be only noise. Here the V2 only, sorry, so the noise get cancelled and we'll get V output is A times of signal, which is an amplified, which will give amplified version of our input signal, so which is able to eliminate the noise because of having a differential sensing of operational amplifier. It is a great property, which is the great property of an operational amplifier, which is used very will be used in for industrial application. So we have also, so because of that it is having high common mode rejection ratio. So what is common mode rejection ratio? If I represent common CMRR, common mode rejection ratio, as AD by ACM. This AD is nothing but the differential gain, which usually we represent as A into V1 minus V2. It can be represented as V output equal to A times of VID, where VID equals to V1 minus V2. So what is common mode rejection? So common mode gain means the ACM is equals to 1 half of V1 plus V2. So it will take the average of this input signal and will represent as a V1. If I represent the V1 in terms of common mode signal, common mode gain and differential mode gain, V1 equals to VCM minus V differential by 2 and V2 equal to VCM plus VID by 2. So these are the representation of a signal. So if I do VID equal to V1 minus V2, then only the common mode signals will be eliminated. Because of that, the common mode gain will be equal to 0. So we will get CMMR equal to infinite. For an ideal operational amplifier, the common mode gain of a signal equal to 0. Because of that, we will get common mode rejection is infinite. And also we will discuss the slew rate of an operational amplifier having high slew rate, because means if I given the input to the operational amplifier as a step signal having 1, so unit step signal, the output of an operational amplifier, any device will not react as suddenly. If input changes, the output will not change suddenly, so it will take some time to change the output. So this time is called as slew rate. The response time, if the rate of change of output with respect to input is called as a slew rate. We will discuss with an example in the next video. Till now we have discussed the ideal properties of definition of operational amplifier, the representation of operational amplifier in a block diagram way and in electrical way, in a circuit model, in a practical and ideal way, and we have also discussed how to find the negative feedback and the positive feedback, and also we have discussed about the negative. We also discussed the inverting configuration of operational amplifier and the properties of operational amplifier having a infinite gain, high infinite input impedance, infinite bandwidth, and the zero output resistance, and having infinite common mode rejection ratio, and which is having a zero offset voltage, and having a good slew rate, which the output of an operational amplifier will suddenly will change with respect to input. In the case of operational amplifier, we also discuss other properties in the next video. We will also compare these properties with a practical value. So we will also discuss the problems. We will get the concept through the problems from the next videos, and till then please use your pen and paper and write down all the concepts which are discussed. If you like the video, and please subscribe to my channel, and please share this video to all your friends. I will try to make these videos very concise, because initially I wanted to make the videos very less duration, but because I want to give the more information, the practical information, that's why the video is getting very high duration. So I will try to reduce the video's length, and I will try to get the good content for you. And please subscribe to Jananetha Adda, and please share to your friends, and stay happy, stay safe.